Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy FRE, dollar sign H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why, just check out the channel. And the word for the day is accountability. First, we're going to start with a definition. So let's get right into it because this is going to be one hell of a live in a convo that we're going to have together as people of the travel community. So let me share the screen with you guys real quick. Boop, boop, boop. Put me in a little small base right there. Share screen. Boom, boom. Okay, let's go back here, window. Put it here. And we're going straight to it. Let's start with this right here. Let's not go there first. Let's start with the definition of accountability. Now, I'm going to read it two different ways for you guys. Accountability, the fact or condition of being accountable, responsibility, their lack, I'm going to give you an example of it. Their lack of accountability has corroded public respect. Let me give you another definition of accountability. What is the true meaning of accountability? Accountability is an assurance that an individual or an organization will be evaluated on their performance or behavior related to something for which they are responsible. Let me get that last part in right for you guys. For which they are responsible. Now, I'm gonna give you one more definition before I break down the connection of accountability, and the next definition I'm going to give you guys and ladies. The next definition I'm going to give you guys is the definition of dangerous. Definition of dangerous. There we go. Okay, so I thought I had it up here somewhere, but I guess I must delete it. Okay, so let's go to the definition of dangerous. Dangerous, that by definition is something that is able or likely to cause harm or injury. Let me give you an example. A dangerous animal, because an animal is likely to cause harm or injury. And I'm going to connect them to, I just want to make sure we have this definition because I don't want to give a overall, well, everybody, you know what I'm talking about, understand. No. Let's go to the definitions that matter. I'm going to give you a more expanded definition of dangerous. Involving possible injury, pain, harm, or loss. Characterized by danger, a dangerous job. Now, let me reverse that, and we're going to give you a connection, and we're going to add in Medellin Colombia. Let's see how we're going to do this. All right. So let's see if Medellin Colombia falls underneath the definition of danger. And we're going to see how accountability plays in that definition. Is Medellin responsible? We're talking about a place. Is Medellin accountable or responsible? Let's get back to the definition of danger, for causing injury or harm. Let's try that again. Is Medellin involving possible injury or harm? Wait a minute. Go reverse it. That the individual or organization performance cause. Is there something that happens in Medellin that causes injury or harm that Medellin is responsible for? And who's accountable? Now, I'm going to shout everybody out of the room. I just wanted to put that definition out first because I don't feel as though you can have a crisp conversation unless you define what you're trying to talk about. Everything else is just hit back and forth. But I'm just going to give you guys the definition. I'm going to shout everybody out in the room real quick. and we're gonna go back to the regular screen. 35 people in the room. Hope you hit the like button. This is going to be some interesting conversations, some different ideas, and then maybe after like 30 minutes, I'll invite people in the room to come speak on the subject. And you have to have a video, like I'm recording now. You have to be on video and try not to curse. That's what I'm going to say after the 30 minutes. So let me shout everybody out to show you guys I appreciate you guys for coming, guys and ladies, or ladies and guys, because ladies come first in the room. Javier, what's going on? Felix King. Man, what it do? Con Crazy 105. What's up, fly boy? You're one of the main reasons that I've been traveling. Turned 25 in May. Woo, man. I appreciate it, man. I wish I'd have known about travel before 24, man. Cause man, Freddie Mac, what it do? Let me see. We need some Cali. Yak. Black Ham TV, what it do, man? Kings and Dreams in the building. The Capricorn Way. Buck travel. These dudes are moving clumsy overseas. You need to be sharp overseas. And big to you for hosting this town hall. Listen, we're gonna have a conversation. Appreciate y'all for coming up, man. Yep. Let me see. Noel Bandana, what's up, man? Thank you, fly boy. Heading to Medellin. Dope. Hope you watch the Black Man's Guide, man. It's definitely useful. Oh my goodness. Island Boy Chisel's in the building. For you guys that don't know, I'll be in Miami all next week, a whole 7 days in Miami. I was thinking about going somewhere else, but we might talk about that in the future. Let me see. I'm just trying to shout everybody out before we start this up again. Davion, yo, been to Medellin twice now. It's not dangerous. It's just a place of opportunity. Somebody was watching the guide. I feel you. Milano, the travel vlogger. What's going on? What up? Let me see. Miami is a nice place to visit. I won't lie. It's the best place in the Matrix. It's a place I like a lot. It's my favorite place in the Matrix. But Houston can get it too, man. Medihead, it's lit out there. I wish I was. I don't wish I was 25 again, but yeah, I understand, man. Thomas Jones, first solo trip I did to Medi, had a blast. Okay. Who else we got? Main said, okay, turn 25 in December, and you're ready. Oh, that's dope. Jay Brass, what's going on, man? Thanks for the advice. That's gonna be you're gonna have a ball, man. You definitely gonna have a ball. Nicky Hutchin crazy. Yo, what's going on, man? G's that name, boy. Sparks, bro. It's dangerous. Stop it. We'll talk about it. I broke down the definition and everything. Don't matter where you're at if you move groovy. Sparks, you got to move right everywhere. Good point. And last but not least, went to Medellin twice. Both times had checks. All right, so we're gonna stop right there. I see two more people sitting on the record. Okay, don't matter where you go if you move. Okay, and I actually need to go to Miami for the. yeah. might have a better chance going straight to Cuba. All right, so let's get into this talk, y'all. 42 people in the room. Hope you hit the like button. We getting into it. Okay. So I feel as though we needed to have a talk about danger and Medellin. I said as you guys know, I have in fact, I don't want to be on the big screen. I want you guys to see me in Medellin while I'm talking. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to this share screen. I'm gonna be in the corner right here, and then we're going to play the playlist on my page that you can go to and see yourself with Medellin Colombia. Play all. Let's turn the music down so I don't get copyrighted, and let's make that theater mode so you guys can see it clearly. All right. Okay, should be good now, right? All right. Let me. Is this not in 4K? Hold on. Let me make sure this is in 4K because you know it's in 4K. Let's see. It's in 4K. No, wait. Come on, you gotta be in 4K, man. Come on, let's go. All right, let's do this right. There we go. Let's do it right. All right, y'all. So when it comes to Medellin, right, you'll hear a lot of people that say that Medellin is dangerous. And personally, I feel that the way someone sees danger is based on their life experiences. A lot of us in the States have been coddled by the United States to think that the way the United States is the standard of how it is around the world. So when we compare everything to the United States, if it's not exactly the way it is, we say, oh, it's more dangerous, or it's cheaper, or it's more expensive. But we base it on the United States. So I want to say that no one is wrong by saying that Medellin is dangerous because that's your perspective. Everyone's allowed a perspective. But when I speak as a black man from North New Jersey who's traveled around the world, who's been traveling since 18 and internationally since 24, been on YouTube for I've been on YouTube since 2009, 14 years. I speak from a place of inclusion of the places from around the world. When I say Medellin is not dangerous, it's what you do that causes that danger. Remember the definition again. Again, we're gonna quick. I'm gonna leave this playing, but quickly I'm gonna go back to the definition of danger. Danger is likely to cause harm and injury. Now, is Medellin accountable for likely to cause harm and and injury? No. Why? Because it's not the behavior of Medellin that's causing the harm and injury, the robberies, the theft, the steals. It's the opportunity that you present as a person who goes there who did not research Medellin, who did not go and do the due diligence that you need to understand how to move outside of the environment that you know in the United States. So when it comes to something being dangerous, all right, come say hello, Xavier. Come on, come say hello. Come say hello. I should have did this first because you guys know when I'm up here. Let me just say what's up, Xavier. It's my little man right here. All right. All right, put it in the refrigerator and then, you know what I mean? You good. All right. I'm gonna go back, y'all. We're gonna go back to the dangerousness. All right. So close my door too, please. Thank you. All right. So when it comes to danger, you have to realize who is accountable for the danger. Is it the city of Medellin? By no means, no. Let me give you an example. There's two people. One person said they both want to go to Medellin. They're both from the same place. Doesn't matter. New York, Los Angeles, Miami, Houston, Atlanta, middle America. They're both from the same place, and they both want to go to Medellin, Colombia. They've never traveled anywhere internationally in their life. Paul says, I'm going to go to Medellin because I heard it was crazy. I'm going to go to Medellin, but before I go, I'm going to research what Medellin is like. I'm going to go on YouTube, and I'm not going to just look at one person. I'm going to look at 6 or 7 content creators to find out about Medellin, because if I Google it, I'm not going to get the real. I'm not going to get the real. What I'm going to get is the industry standard of what they think it is. But if I go to YouTube, I can actually see for my eyes on different people's experience what Medellin is like. That's what Paul said. Rob goes, I'm going to Medellin. I heard it's mad women over there. I heard things are so cheap. I'm about to throw on this chain. I'm about to go over there and I'm going to make it rain. And neither one is bad. Neither way is bad. But I'm giving you 2 examples. I'm about to go over there with this big Versace sign across my chest, or these big diamond stud earrings, and we're gonna have a ball. Rob does no research. Rob doesn't ask his friends who've been to Medellin. Rob and Paul go together. They stay in the exact same Airbnb building. They pay the exact same amount. They go to the exact same clubs. Rob gets robbed and drugged. Paul gets laid. Rob goes home and says, I hate Medellin. It's the most dangerous place in the world. I don't understand why people still go there. You should go here and go here, go here and go here. It's just not as dangerous as Medellin. Paul goes back and says, man, I had the time of my life. I didn't have to spend too much money. I mean, I watched The Black Man's Guide and it told me that, hey, negotiate, the prices was low, and I met quality women and pros. Two different experiences. Who's right? Is it dangerous or is it not? Well, see, there's really no right or wrong, but when you consider which one is more closer to the truth, you have to consider that one person did the research to find out how to move in a country that they never been. The other person didn't do the research. Okay, I know. Let me stop right there. I know it's a lot of people saying, hey, but there are people who have been going for so long and they're pros and they're experts at Medellin and they still go through this. Okay, let me break it up another way. Paul has been going to Medellin since that first time for a long time, back to back to back. He feels a little more comfortable now. He starts to get a drinking, He drinks a little bit more. He goes out, he says, oh, everything is good. I know how to move now. He gets a little drunk. He gives a person the opportunity. He gives a lady of the night the opportunity to get to slip on him. She gets to slip on him, takes him for everything. Takes him for his laptops, takes him for his cell phones, takes him for, because Paul doesn't wear jewelry, but Paul lives over there. He's an expat now. And he's been there for many years. Paul now starts to think, dang, Medellin is really dangerous. Paul never stops to think that maybe again, it's not dangerous. You made an opportunity. You caused the danger. Medellin didn't cause the danger. What you did caused the danger. Accountability. I feel as though in the States, and it's not black people, it's not white people, it's not Indian people, it's not people from any other ethnicity. It's everyone in the United States that's grown up and been raised in this culture has a problem with accountability. Being accountable for your actions that led to a certain circumstance. What people want to do instead of taking these actions to mind and saying, oh, wow, I caused that to happen. They rather just push it off outside and say, no, I didn't cause that to happen. Medellin caused that to happen. I wouldn't think that's fair. And I don't think that's inclusive of everything. And I feel as though maybe it's a bias that I've had because I haven't heard all of the stories about people being, I'm going to say dragon breathed in Medellin and getting robbed. I haven't heard all the stories. But 99.9% of the stories that I've heard have involved a man or a man getting inebriated or drinking or letting his guard down or going to a place to pick up pros or non-pros that is not a place that has a quality pro, but rather an inexpensive pro. Let's go more into details with that. Paul and Rob. Let's change the names because let's get somebody new. Jerry and Mike. Both seen the black man's God. Both Jerry and Mike know how to move accordingly in Medellin, Colombia. They both go to Medellin, Colombia. Jerry says, I want to save some money. I'm going to stay in Berlin. Paul says, I don't mind spending a little money. I'm going to stay in El Poblado. Jerry says, I'm going to try to save a little money. I'm going to get a woman off Tinder, or I'm going to get a pro out of one of these smaller casas that's like $25, and I'm going to have her come to my house. Paul says, I'm going to La Isla. I'm going to Foz Dos. I'm going to Barra Ejecti. Maybe I'll stay in La Isla and Foz Dos. Paul goes there, pays more. Paul. What's his Paul? Whatever his name was. He goes there, pays more. Jerry goes to Berlin, goes to a small casa, pays less. Months go by. They keep doing the same thing over and over. Jerry's saving money. Whatever his name, Mike is spending more money, staying in El Poblado, going to La Isla, going to Fonse Dos, going to the places that are a little more expensive, but more of a upper class, or going to Little Trin and stuff like that, right? One day, Paul brings back the women to her house, the pro to the house. The pro that Paul is with is a woman who has a idea. She comes from a low economical place. She comes from a low economical place, and she sees Paul is able to live very, very nicely in Berlin. She sees him as an advantage. She says, "Hey, I got a girlfriend. Can I bring her over?" Paul says, "Sure, because I've been hanging with this girl for a long time." Paul brings both of the women over. Dude, Paul cannot watch both women. Somebody slips up in Paul's drink. Paul, as expect, his whole house is emptied out. Paul loses everything. Mike, who's paying all this money for La Isla, these high clubs and low trend, he's spending a lot more money, but he's being a little bit more cautious. He's putting himself in an environment where it's unlikely to happen. Paul starts to say, Medellin is dangerous. These girls I knew for a long time robbed me. Paul's like, well, I've never had an issue with the type of women I mess with, because look at this. Look at the type of women they're with. Not to say that all women of poverty is bad. Not to say that all women of standard is good. But again, accountability. Accountability. Paul was working to try to get a discount in a country that's already lower than the price in the United States. You're trying to go for the smallest discount. While Mike just said, "Hey, I'll take the discount we get from the difference from the United States, and I'll pay a little bit more for the quality." It's more likely that something's going to happen to Paul than to Mike. So when Paul says over and over that Medellin is dangerous, is he true? Nobody's wrong. Nobody's wrong. But is it close to the truth? Not necessarily. And I'm going to give you one more example, and then we're going to go to the room, and I'm going to get to y'all questions. We're 22 minutes in. I pretty much slammed this point to the core. We're going to give you one more example, and then we're going to go to the room. I keep making up names. Steve and Sam. Steve and Sam both have friends, right? They both have friends. They have guy friends that come from the States. Now they're both expats, right? They're both expats. Steve tells all his friends to come to Medellin. Sam says, "Hey, all my friends, come to Medellin." Steve tells them, "Listen, if you come to Medellin, you have to be able to understand how things work. I'm going to explain to you how things work. Don't wear jewelry. Don't go to these clubs. Don't try to negotiate money. Don't do anything like this. Don't do any drugs, and you'll be okay." Sam says, "Hey, fellas, listen. Don't wear no chains. If you want to get a little drunk, just make sure you're with a friend. Everything is cool." So Steve and Sam go to the club. Steve tells his friends, "Hey, make sure you get the lowest price you can get on a pro. Get the lowest price you can get on a pro." Sam says, negotiate with the pros, but don't try to rock bottom them, because when you try to rock bottom them, they look at you something way. They look at you a certain type of way. They try to squeeze the opportunity out. And most importantly, don't keep them overnight. Steve says, "Hey, if you want them overnight, just negotiate with them and pay with it overnight." Steve's friends go to Gusto's, gets a woman out, says, "Hey, how much do you want for overnight?" She's like, $200. "Oh, that's it? You got it. Boom. Sam's friend goes to Gusto's. Sam's friend goes to Gusto's and says, "Hey, how much you want for an hour?" She said, $100. That's it. Cool. Now, $200 for the night is definitely better than $100 for the hour. We can all agree with that. Right? Cool. See, Steve's friend takes the woman, goes back to the house, has fun, and goes to sleep. He's paid for the whole night, but he goes to sleep. Mind you, he just met this woman. He just met this pro. But Steve told his friend that it's okay to get a pro to stay overnight. Sam's friends, they're going for an hour and they're paying more. But this after the hour, hey, nice to meet you. Goodbye. Going home. One day, Steve's friends gets drunk. They all get drunk. I want a woman for the night. I get the way Steve's friend get the woman for the night. They're drunk. The woman doesn't drug him. She doesn't drug him. She waits till he goes to sleep. Steve's friend goes to sleep. She takes everything and walks out while he sleep. And he paid her already to stay the night and sleep. Never happens to Sam's friends. So when again, accountability and danger. We'll go back again before we get to the thing. We'll get to the let's get to the definitions again, and then I'm going to the chat room. Danger, likely to cause problems or have adverse consequences involving possible injury, pain, harm, or loss. Accountability is the assurance that an individual or organization will evaluate it on their performance or behavior related to something of which they are responsible. Is Medellin responsible for the irresponsible actions of the travelers that go there? I'd say no. So in my conclusion, is Medellin dangerous? No. And I just wanted to get down one check. Now we get to the chat room, y'all. I got to see how far back we went, man. And I'm gonna have to probably turn this fan on because man, that was a long thing, y'all. All right, let me see. All right, let's see. All right. Let me bring this back up here and let's talk about it, fellas. 85 people in the room. Hope you hit the like button. Get some water first. All right, let's get to your comments, and then around like 35 minutes, I'll put the link in the room. Again, if you want to join the room, you have to, one, have a camera like this, and two, try not to curse or anything like that, because I want to monetize this, because the whole thing is that if you don't monetize your videos on YouTube, your video and your message doesn't get spread out. So, all right, so I think we ended at here. Okay, we got it here. All right, so all right, we got it. All right. Rial, what's going on? I was 22 years old when I joined the United States Navy and seen the world. That is a great way to start seeing the world, because prior to now, YouTube and technology, it was very hard to even know somebody who left out of their state or out of the country, let alone. Noel, High Beach in Miami. Yeah, High Beach in Miami be dope. It's usually like more of like a hipster crowd, but you can get something out of there every now and then. Man, okay. Passport King, what's going on? Salute, bro. Salute. Let me see. Make sure you subscribe to Passport King. He got some great content. Be doing some dope interviews, y'all. Kings and Dreams. Make sure you subscribe to Kings and Dreams too. He on a roll. He been grinding out with Ladies Night and all them interviews.
I gotta go pee.
All right, go pee, man.
Okay.
Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Try to get your questions. QB Flexin, the QB Passport Flexin in the building. Yo, make sure y'all check QB out too, man. He be having some great interviews and some great, lives and stuff. It's pretty dope. And he definitely travels all around Mexico. Just left Medellin. Andy said the fire emoji. Let me see. Just browsing through, fellas, browsing through. Yeah, Ace Live line about. I don't know. I don't know, man. Like everyone has their own, maybe he doesn't. Everybody has their own lifestyle. Like Amir Parker, QB. Oh, man, okay, let me see. Let's see. Okay, okay. I'm just trying to get y'all questions and comments. Let me see. Let me see. Um, one part two of these trial. Salute. King. One last 6 weeks. Yeah, yeah. He definitely got some good videos. King James. Um, let me see. Bye bye. Bye bye. Okay. Let me see. Jerry and Mike. Mike and.
Yeah, I wipe my hands too.
All right. That's good. Okay. Good job. Let me see. Let me see. I'm currently in Ecuador. I'll be in Lima, Peru next week. Nice, nice. Yeah, we like I said, a couple more years we'll move out to some more places like that, but we got big plans for next year to move some different countries. Let's see. Okay, okay. Camping out at La Isla. I hear you, Noel. I hear you. Um. Okay, okay, yeah, Costa Rica. I definitely want to get to Le Mans. I want to get to Le Mans, Costa Rica still, and I got to figure out when I can get when there's going to be an activity in Bogota where I can do a Black Man's Guide to Bogota. Le Mans and Costa Rica and Bogota, two places that, although I've been to that country plenty of times, those countries plenty of times, I definitely want to go back and get that. Dario, what's up? He says if you can't control your alcohol, don't drink a lot. But if you don't drink a lot, it could lead you to drop your guard and don't get confident. Yes, great points, man. Great points. And even if you feel as though you can control your alcohol, never go out and drink, I say, more than 3 shots. Don't take more than 3 shots if you are by yourself. Just take 2 and have fun with whatever your night goes. But don't take more than 3 shots when you're out, because anything more than 3 shots can, you know what I mean? Okay, Spain and okay. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. In Portugal next month. D said, yes, sir. What up, D? Chestnut in the building. I'm in Bogota right now, feeling safe, moving with the locals. Listen, you do that research, you know how to move, man. It's Z1 in the building. Chulo, man, when Bangkok, when I get there, like I said, next year, either Thailand for 2 weeks or South Africa for 2 weeks. That's my plan for next year, because that's gonna be a big move. That's gonna be the only big international trip I do. If I go to Colombia, it'll be for a weekend, which I don't know. But I got the big international trip. It's gonna be 2 weeks. Mr. Alexander says went to Colombia for the first time. Oh man, I hope you enjoyed yourself, stayed safe, and had some great memories, man. And I hope you ain't fall in love the first time, man. Let me see. Nice. Vietnam. Darius James, what's going on, man? Amir Parker. What do I do if I don't know Spanish? Is there an app where I can talk through the phone and translate out loud? Google Translate actually does that. It allows you to have the conversation where you press the button and you talk into it, and then she presses the button and talks into you back, or it just translates. You can download the Google app, and Google Translate, and it does that. Pretty good too. But you don't need it in certain places, but it does help. Man, my third night, I fell asleep with a shorty in the bed. Woke up and she was getting dressed. I'm like, hold on, listen. First of all, the fact that she slept and it was getting dressed, that was a good sign. But it's risky, man. It's risky. Like you heard the story. You guys heard the story. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm kind of saying that. If you want to get a girl overnight, you can do it. But the risk, and I've done it before. I locked all my stuff up, but also there were other people that were in the Airbnb I was at. So I feel as though I had some plus I was with her the whole night. So, but it's not a lot, man. It doesn't happen a lot. I'm gonna be real. It doesn't happen often. It doesn't even happen 15% of the time. So I wouldn't recommend it. Gotta learn. Yeah, but right. So learning Spanish helps out a lot. especially because they feel as though if you can speak a little bit Spanish, you'll be able to communicate with the authorities to really handle anything. However, that's not going to stop you from going through issues if you don't know how to move right. You can speak all the Spanish in the world. If you let your guard down, if you try to get two women, you can't watch them both because you're drinking. I wouldn't. Me personally, I would not ever put myself in a situation where I have two women and I'm drinking. I don't drink beer, so it's not my thing. I don't drink. I drink alcohol only with one woman, but I may take two shots and then that's it. Especially if I know I'm with two women and I don't have nobody with me. It's just not logical. Like I said, accountability. A lot of us, and I'm not just talking about black people, a lot of us United States citizens have been so coddled by how comfortable it is in the United States. If you grew up in the hood, what I consider the hood, if you grew up in a rough environment, you may not have been coddled as much as so many other people. When I say coddled, I mean babied or, took and make things look like everything was great in the United States. But that causes a lot of people to trust too much and stuff when they go abroad. To this day, I just can't imagine why would I pay a woman or why would I, to a pro rather to stay the night when I know I've just met her. That means I have to. It's something in my mind has to say it makes sense to go to sleep around someone who I just paid. I mean, like I said, I've done it. I'm not saying this to happen. Always keep your guard. Definitely, man. Bottom line is you get what you pay for, fellas. That's another move. That's another thing, man. Young SC11, what's up, man? Yo, Fly Boy, what's good, brother? What place you find better, Cartagena, Medellin? It really depends what I want to go for. If I want the walkability, just party all night, all pros, I'm gonna go to Cartagena. If I want the beach vibe, I'm gonna go to Cartagena. But for me, I prefer Medellin because Medellin is more of a city vibe, and you can do stuff outside of just go to the beach. You can go to Guadalupe. You can do a lot more stuff activity wise, and it gives you a lot more options to get to. Even though everything isn't as close outside of Parque Yeres, Medellin gives you the option to you can go.
Yeah, I took my salt off, but I didn't get the bag.
All right, good job, big boy. You can go to different parts of Medellin to get different vibes. You can go to Laureles. You can go to Sabaneta. You can go to I haven't been to Envigado yet, but I heard it's pretty relatively good. You can go to Envigado. You can go to El Poblado. You can go to different parts. Whereas Cartagena ain't really like that to me. To me, in my perspective, Cartagena ain't really like that. Let me see. Jay Nice, what's going on? Rule number 1. Hope you like button.
I gotta go poop again.
I go poop and let me know when you finish. And wipe your butt. Wipe your butt. Use the wipes. Before you go to Colombia, learn Spanish. Rule number 2. Follow rule number 1. Like I said, learning Spanish is definitely a help wherever you go to Latin American countries. However, you can get away in Cartagena with not knowing any Spanish at all. Medellin, you can get away for the most part, but you're gonna have to stay, in the words of Keys in the Streets, clean and close. You're gonna have to stay in El Poblado, close to Parque Yeres, and just circle that area right there. Because the further you go out, the less economical the people, the less money the people have. So it's gonna be less likely that they're going to be able to speak English as well. The further you go out from El Poblado. Speaking of which, Jake Clyde in the building. What's going on, man? Jake Clyde, I know you've been trying to get here for a while. I went back to look at my messages, and for some reason, it had you like blocked from sending messages. I don't know what happened, but I fixed it. So good to see you back. If you haven't already, make sure y'all subscribe to Jake Clyde. He be giving the dope information about the guest-friendly hotels. He be having places in Colombia and Brazil. So make sure y'all check him out, yo. Amir Parker. Should I fly into Miami to go to Colombia? I do. It really depends where you're at because I've learned that the flights from Miami to Colombia have always been the cheapest than anywhere in the world. And sometimes it'll be cheaper to fly from your house, wherever you're at, to Miami, and then from Miami to Colombia. Most flights even connect to Miami or Fort Lauderdale. Definitely appreciate it, Passport King. Fresh. King, I know Fresh your boy, but Fly was all definitely, man. Kev, what up, man? Anybody traveling the next? Oh, that's dope, man. Listen, we over 30 minutes. I'm gonna put the link in the room. Anybody else want to come in the room. You can ask me any questions you guys want right now. Hit the like button. I'm gonna put the link in the room. Remember, if you wanna come talk about is Medellin Dangerous, you have to one have a video, and you're gonna be talking on the video, and two you have to you should try. And two, I need you to try to not curse and or say crazy things, because I'm trying to monetize it so it gets spread out to people and help other people. So I'll put the link in the room right there. And then we're gonna say this. While he asks this question, Kev, anybody traveling to Medellin next week, let's connect. Now, I personally was trying to decide whether or not, because I have next week off, right? And you guys know I got the place in Miami, South Beach. I had already booked my place to Miami, going tomorrow on Monday and coming back on Monday, right? But I felt as though I applied for they had a YouTube Black thing, and I add you roll tape. Just give me a second. I'm adding the room after I say this. They had a YouTube Black thing where they invited me to go to YouTube Black in Atlanta, and I was I RSVP'd, but they said you can't come unless they give you the confirmation. They never gave me the confirmation, so I decided I was going to go to Medellin or Cali, Colombia. But what happened was that the price right now is nuts to catch the flight at the last minute. So I think I'll probably just be in Miami all next week. But in the meantime, I'm gonna add two brothers to the room. First in the deck, roll a goddamn tape. What's going on, man?
What it do, my brother? What it do, man?
All right. And real quick, roll the tape. Let me add to the stream. But. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Fresh?
Hey, yo. All right, so we're gonna start with roll the tape. Roll the tape.
Yeah. What up, player?
What you think, man?
About Medi? Because I'm just chiming in.
Is Medellin dangerous?
Hell yeah, it can be dangerous.
Wait.
Definitely.
Question: when you say it could be dangerous, what do you mean?
Shit. Hey, man. In the wrong place at the wrong time, meeting the wrong people. It definitely can go left real quick, bro.
Okay. Buck travel?
Oh man, it depends on the person. Like you said, the examples you gave out was perfect. It depends on the person. If the person is sharp and they know what they're doing, and it's like when Medellin is one of those places that you make one false mistake and it's done. You're gonna get robbed. So it depends on the person, and you must stay sharp. You can't be making mistakes. You can't be doing this and all that. So it depends on the person. Yeah, it can be dangerous, but it's like, as long as you do the right thing and all that, you can have the best time of your life. I went there twice, and I had the best time of my life, man, over there, man. So I don't know why guys are saying it's dangerous. I mean, me personally, I do want to go back, but the thing is, I want to try it at other places. Peru is next on my bucket list. That's one of the places I'm trying to visit next. But what's that?
That's that turn is definitely a vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe, and the food is phenomenal out there, man. Phenomenal. The food is phenomenal. It's cheap, very, very cheap. Very, very cheap nightlife prices out there, man. If you know what I mean,
Real quick, Maine, I see you in the back, man.
Let me kind of
on that a little bit. Maine, before you roll tape start, Maine, I see you in the back, man. Everybody in the back has to put the camera on, so I know you have a camera in here. They both put the camera in the background, and I know roll the tape personally. So go ahead, roll the tape.
All right, now he's saying it's not that dangerous, but my thing is it more dangerous than maybe Bangkok, let's say the DR, and different countries like that, Costa Rica? Which one you think the most dangerous? Medellin, Colombia as a whole, or these other countries?
No, so I can personally speak on the Costa Rica and Medellin because I've been to both, and I can say that Costa Rica is way safer than Colombia. crime is kind of non-existent over there, and the girls are not going to get you as much as the girls get you in Medellin. But in Medellin, if you did your due diligence and you did your research prior to going over there, I mean, you can have a very, 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 great time. It's one of those places that your trip can go either way. Like if you don't do due diligence, if you don't do any research, you might
But
have.
you just said it's safe though. You just said it's safe. Like
Okay, here's the thing. It's safe depending on the person. If you're a
okay.
clumsy dude, if you're a
But
clum, if
I
you
just
look,
I think
I'm
it
just trying to
just
say that
says
if you're a sharp dude that's constantly like everything is on point, then you're gonna have a good time out there. But if you're a clumsy dude, then most likely you're not gonna have a good time out there, and there's a possibility you might even get drug out there because the women are down there. They
but
can they can they can they can
that's
sense
my
who's
whole
who's a.
point though. But travel in all these other countries we talking, most likely you will not get drugged. But in Colombia, that shit happens daily, bro. Like some of the stories I hear, man. I mean, guys been knowing chicks for 2 and 3 years, and they come down one time and that girl drugs them. I mean, just the stories you hear coming out of Colombia is different, man. It's a different type of level, man. So I think we, as YouTubers, man, we gotta be a little more responsible, man, and tell people, hey, look, man, this shit can be dangerous, dude. Like, don't get it twisted. Yeah, it can be safe and all that, but at the same time, it's fucking dangerous.
All right,
Like,
so
I
Rich, let me,
mean,
let me ask this question, Rich. All right. So earlier today, I know you just come in,
all
so
right,
you might.
hold on.
Okay.
You remember when you came to Atlanta
Right.
and you had that Airbnb and you
Right.
said, Rich, what about the neighborhood it's close to? And the first thing I told you, I said, hey, look, man, that's not the best side of town. It's
Mm-hmm.
a nice little neighborhood in the cut, but everything around that is pretty dangerous. I told you that, right?
Right.
So it's the same thing, man. If I come to Jersey and I'm in a good area, but you know it's a bad area around the corner, I would want you to tell me that. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing when we traveling. We have to tell people, hey, look, man, this shit can be dangerous, dude. I seen motherfuckers fighting with knives in the street in Medellin. I walked from El Poblado train station, and minutes after we left there, two people got killed right by the train station. I mean, it's shit that happened in Medellin, man. It can be fucking dangerous, dude. Like seriously. Anytime you can go to a town and motherfucker can get drugged and be sleeping in this room for 2 days. I mean, you. Oh, sorry about all the cursing, man. My fault.
Cool. It's cool.
But anytime a dude can meet a female and have intercourse with her or whatever, and you just kiss on her breast or whatever, and you wake up 2 days later. I mean, that's a dangerous time, man. I mean, let's be real, man. Let's put that out there too, man. Yeah, it's fun. You can go this place, you can go that place, and you cannot make it home at night too. So people get robbed all the time in Medellin in different parts. Broad daylight, man. They snatch phones. I mean, come on, man. I've been in taxi cabs uh, with taxis that's doing lines of coke and all kind of stuff. I seen guys get snatched up by the cops, and just different things happen just over the years. Stories I've been hearing and stuff like that, man. I mean, I just try to keep it real to the people, man. It can be a dangerous city, dude.
All right. So I know you see. You wasn't here earlier, so I'm trying to summarize what everybody was in the room was here earlier. So I'm going to summarize what I said earlier, but I'm going to give you an example why I personally say that Medellin is not dangerous, and I break it down like this because you have to go by the definition to really say something versus the overall think what everybody thinks is danger and not danger, because I think that gives a misconception of how things are. So the way I broke it down was by two definitions combined together and bring into intuition. The two definitions were dangerous and accountability. Now, is Medellin dangerous? That means is Medellin accountable for likely to cause problems or adverse consequences? Or is Medellin accountable for involving possible injury pain, harm, or loss. By those definitions, to be dangerous, you have to be accountable to provide to causing this thing. But what truly causes it is how you move. If I go to Medellin forget Medellin. If I go to Atlanta, when in any area in Atlanta, I go to Buckhead, I go to Bankhead, I go to any part of Decatur with a big chain around my neck, and I get drunk at nighttime. Does that make that area dangerous, or does it mean that what I did caused the danger to come to me? And I always say it's what I did, because there's a bunch of other people who go all the time who don't move like this. And if you don't move like this, it's more. Listen, there was about, I haven't heard, 99% of the stories that I heard about people getting drugged in Medellin involve liquor. I've never heard a story that about a person getting drugged that doesn't involve liquor. So when you add certain things to something, to say that it's the city that's dangerous versus a place of opportunity, and you bring the danger to yourself because of how you move, it's hard to see how Medellin is even considered dangerous, when the same thing would happen in Atlanta if you went reckless or irresponsibly moved around.
All right, well, let me ask you a question.
In Marietta, in the best part, if you move around reckless,
let me ask you a question, Flyboy.
Okay.
And I also want to make a statement behind. Well, let me make the statement first. I knew some guys that was in El Poblado. They was in a hotel. It was at the front desk. 2 robbers came in the hotel and robbed them. Broad daylight. But anyhow, so now my question is,
was the hotel in the top area?
Yes, Toro Poblado Hotel, right there.
I'm not sure of it, but
that's one of the main hotels right there near the park, like a few blocks from the park.
And they said the guy came in the hotel and robbed him in front of all the people.
Came right in the hotel, bro.
And how often does that happen?
Huh?
How often does that happen?
How often does that happen?
Yeah, because
you don't never see the videos on Colombia with people going restaurants and stuff with guns. And,
right, but I'm talking about the hotel. See, the hotel is a different level of security.
All right. I was just putting that out there.
Okay.
Somebody said something about get hotels. I mean, they rob hotels too, man. But anyhow, I wanted to say this. You said something about walking around with a gold chain. Well, let me ask you a question. I want you to be real honest.
Okay.
You as a tourist going to Colombia, you don't consider yourself a gold chain when somebody notices you a foreigner in their country, and you walking down the street, you don't really know where you're going. You may not know the language. You don't think they look at you as a gold chain?
No, because the places that I go are going to be.
I'm just talking in general.
No, but
as a foreigner going into.
I don't feel as though I'm a gold chain, because the places I go,
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the locals. When they see you, they look at you as a dollar sign. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, I see what you're saying about that. Yes, but they don't look at you as an opportunity at all times. There's things that you can do that causes them to look at you as an opportunity. They may see you as a dollar sign, but if you do certain things, now you're an opportunity. I can go get this person. I can go do something, because of what this person is doing is stuff that doesn't happen here. But real quick, let me add Brandon to the room. Brandon to the room.
Who?
What's going on, man?
What up?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm gonna let Roller Tate finish his thoughts, and then you can.
Oh no, I was just laying that on you. But you saying as a foreigner, we not like, dollar signs walking around. But I choose to differ from that, because I believe that the locals do look at us as dollar signs, and that's an opportunity for them to come up, whether it's your cell phone, or whether them swindling you out some money, or whether them robbing you. You are an opportunity as American, because most of these people do not have nothing, and they feel like we're rich when we go over there.
So real quick, Roller Tape. So if a wealthy white man walks through Atlanta, do everybody look at him as an opportunity?
Nah, but it's completely different.
The point is, you are a target. You are a target,
right? But
when you walk into these countries, man.
So let me ask you a question. So if a wealthy white man goes to see a Atlanta Falcons game, all of the people that live in Atlanta, and he's a billionaire, he's a multi-millionaire.
But what you doing is, hold up, Fly Boy, you comparing another country
to
America, man. We need to stop doing
I
that.
agree. We need to stop doing that.
We
And
need to stop
this is what you
doing
need to
that, man,
realize
'cause it
is
ain't
that
the
one
same,
American
bro.
dollar is worth 4,400 Colombian pesos over there.
Hey, Fly Boy, how many people you know got their phone snatched in America in the last 6 months to a year?
In Newark, a lot. In Newark, a lot.
Man, come on, dude.
In
North, man.
Yeah, I never heard of that before.
Come on,
I never heard of that in the States.
I haven't either. And here's the thing.
Look,
I just got my phone.
here's the thing, bro. Everybody got iPhones over here.
Everybody. Like, let me talk for 1 second, guys. Okay. I traveled in a few cities in Colombia. I was just in Bucaramanga for about 3 weeks. And 2 days before I was supposed to leave, following all the rules, don't, the gringo rules, don't text, keep your stuff on a swivel, don't show your flash, nothing like that. I'm sitting in front of my lady's house, in the driveway, not on the street or anything. Somebody grabs me from behind, puts a gun to my head.
Whoa.
Another guy comes with a knife. All right.
Wow.
And he grabs my phone. You know me, automatically. I'm not dying over no phone. Take the phone. Right. They pat me down. They take my wallet, and I turn around. They do vigilante justice in Colombia. So immediately the locals, they don't like that. So they start to approach the guys on the phone. I turn around and look after he grabbed me. It's 2 motos, 5 guys all together, 1 lead guy, 2 guys, and the guy that came with the gun and the guy that came with the knife. And I'm experienced. I'm low. I go there. I work. I come back, and most of the time I was 3 feet from the house.
What country was this?
This is in Bucaramanga. This is in Colombia. It's the 5th biggest city.
What status?
It's the 5th biggest.
What stratus is that?
What department? Santander.
No, what stratus?
What stratus?
Yeah,
like
6, 5, 4, 3.
Was he in a poor neighborhood or rich?
No, it's a working class neighborhood. It's called La Ceiba. That's the barrio.
So it's not like the tourist area where
so strata 4.
Strata 4. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so it's not 5 or 6, right?
Nah, it's a working class area. Families. It is a busy street because it's right off of a thoroughway, but there's it's good schools around. I would even say a 3 if we're gonna it's a decent area.
The reason why I asked that is because so do you think the people in Strata 6 that live in Strata 6 are going to look at you, going to have people riding through with motor conchos trying to rob people?
No, what I really think that we're in a different country and the opportunities are different. And we could try to rate these groups, but there's no stopping somebody that lives in a 6 from going to a 3, or vice versa. We look like Americans. That's what it is. No matter how much we downplay. Now there is a lot more Afro-Colombians in Medellin, but we look like Americans. No matter what we do, no matter what I do. I speak conversational Spanish, but no matter what I do, I always look like an American. So I only carry 1 credit card and my passport card on me. I never carry any money on me. Most of the time, I have a iPhone, or I had an iPhone 13 Pro that I'm getting replaced. I don't carry that phone on me because I know at any time somebody walking could see me as an opportunity. So I don't try to be risk averse outside of myself. I know that anytime somebody might grab me up and say, "Yo, I'm going to try to get them." So guess what? I don't give up no fight. Go ahead, bro. You know what I mean? And
keep going.
No. I mean that's all I'm saying. I'm saying like we're trying to just prepare yourself. Move smartly, move intelligently. Like you say, don't go if you by yourself. Don't drink more than 2 drinks. You know what I mean? I like what you guys are saying. Like there's something you could do about not being a target. I don't agree with that.
My question,
I think that
have you ever been like to El Poblado, Parquilleras, stuff like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Has what happened to you in the 3rd stratus happened to you in the 6th stratus of Parquilleras?
No. No.
Okay. So at no accountability, accountability.
Mm-hmm.
You went from the 6th stratus, which is where the tourists stay, where they have police
Uh-huh.
at, where they have cops at, to go see your girlfriend in the 3rd status, and something happened to you, and
Mhm.
you feel as though it's more because it's Medellin versus the accountability of taking the fact that you weren't in the tourist area or didn't have your girl come to you in the tourist
Well,
area.
here's the thing.
Mm.
Hold on. Here's the thing is that this wasn't in Medellin. This is in Bucaramanga. There is no tourist areas in
So
Bucaramanga.
you went to a whole city that doesn't have a tourist area, and something
Yeah,
happened to you that wouldn't happen in like Medellin or Cartagena, because those are the 6 stratas where they have the police and everything to protect or somewhat involved patrol the
It's-
area. You went to a place that is more like a 3rd stratus, a whole city that's just working class people that is going to be robberies that of stuff because this is not where it's at, and you blame that on the city versus the
no,
actual
absolutely not.
thing. Right.
Absolutely not. I don't blame. No,
So you-
I
No,
don't blame it on the city.
no. Flyboy has a good point. That was a good point.
I mean, you definitely safer in the tourist zone. You definitely safer. I'll just say that you safer.
I think.
I just think-
Okay, go ahead.
I think the risk change. I mean, I'm not if I'm in Bucaramanga, if I'm in any of the Lorenzo areas and stuff. I'm not. If I'm in Bucaramanga, period, I'm not worried about getting scoped. You know what I mean? I'm
But
not.
Bucaramanga is a lower class than lower economical class than El Poblado, no?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I would definitely say so. But I just think the inherent risks are different where you go.
So you would think. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to get. So
Go
you
ahead.
think that in the lower economical class, it's less risk than in the tourist higher class for you to get scoped? That's your thought?
No, what I'm saying is that there isn't the scene to really offer to where Scopolamine is a big deal. Yeah, where this is a college city too. So, but you don't hear about people getting scoped in Bucaramanga. That's not what you hear.
Okay,
That
so
it's just not.
me personally, I know Bucaramanga, but I don't hear about a lot of people going to Bucaramanga. So I wouldn't think that you would hear a lot of people. But what I'm basically saying is that I feel as though in that situation, even though people say it was not my fault, there is a lot of accountability that happened more to you than where the city was. Because I personally, you know how they have YouTubers that go, and there's nothing wrong with it. Everybody has their own perspective. You know, have YouTubers who go to the hood and say, "Oh, this is the hood," or "This is the thing like this. This is the lower economical place." Well, see, I don't do that because I understand that the opportunity that arises in the hood, in a place, and I know. Oh, like Roller Tape said, they may see me more as a dollar sign versus the people who are in the tourist area who see me so much. They may say, "Okay, he got more money than me, but I ain't gonna have to rob him because I got my own money." I'm gonna go to Bucaramanga, a whole city that's not even past Stratus 3, and say, and me being there as an American, now yes, they're gonna see me as an opportunity because this is a Stratus 3. This is not Stratus 6 where they're good. See, I'm from North. If I go to Montclair, I don't feel threatened that they're gonna rob me because they know how I'm in Montclair. But if I'm in North, in the hood of North, even if I'm from North, there's a chance that I can get robbed. So yes, I feel as though the accountability falls on me, not the city that I'm in.
Hey, I think you got somebody in the back.
Oh shoot! Thanks. Oh, speaking of which, QB Passport Flexin. Let me add him to
Also
the
known
room.
as the dating coach hater.
Hold up. There you go. There you go.
What's good? I wouldn't claim the dating coach hater. You know, I'm just defending the passport bros. Happy to be on the panel tonight. How y'all fellas doing?
Hey, you had your boy
Good, man.
Lucario scared the other day, man. He like, I'm leaving. If he comes, I'm leaving.
Right. Well, I mean, again, he's not the only one. It's a lot of these guys. They block your boy. They don't want to do a debate. When you get the hard facts on how they move compared to how we move, it's no competition. Period.
So, can you say what you think about the topic? Because I want to get back to Brandon so he can actually give us some insight. Because I know you live there now, right, Brandon?
No. So I got a girl I've been dating for 2 years. So she lives there. She lives in Bucaramanga.
Well,
And,
I just want to like
yeah.
I know this is off subject, but I just want to hear more about that because like I said, I was
Okay,
contemplating
yeah.
going to Bucaramanga more like so. But QB Passport, what do you think about this topic?
So you kind of touched on it earlier, and this is something that I totally agree with when it comes to the pros. Having them to spend a night with you the first night is somewhat of a huge liability. Now, again, we're experienced with women and reading their vibes, but for guys coming in new and they've never been with a very attractive woman, they can get easily played. So I wouldn't recommend that. Also, I wouldn't recommend, which is the plain obvious, making a pro to your girlfriend or your wife, which a lot of guys do, and they get finessed later on in the relationship. So dealing with pros, it's a totally different demeanor compared to dealing with non-pros. Like it's business. Hey, you're going to do this, this, and this. I pay you this. We agree. Cool. And if you ain't feeling the vibe, you kick her out because there's going to be a pro that's going to be like, yeah, I'm about it. Anything you say, let's do it. Period.
Anybody want to jump in?
Yeah. Let me say something. I saw somebody in the chat say, "It's how you move. You got to know how to move." Well, let me ask y'all something. If y'all met a chick and she's on that, that scopamine, all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? How would you just know she's down with that? How would you just know she's trying to get you? Of course, she gonna act like she want to get with you. She want to come back to your room. How will you know? At what point will you know she's trying to poison you?
I'm gonna go at this first, and then we're gonna go around the panel if anybody else have ideas on this. So here's the thing. I don't know if it's just because I'm from the urban environment, but I know you're gonna know because you're from the urban environment too. I don't know if it's just from around the urban environment. So I'm setting that precedent of things before I say this. There's a look to women and a way that you can read. Like if I see a woman's profile and she looks like she's in the hood, or she looks like she's doing hoodish things, like she got a cigarette in her hand, or she got tattoos all over her body, or she comes and she's dressed in a certain way where it looks like it's clean clothes, but it has a certain look to it, I'm going to automatically think, hey, watch it. Now, I don't know if I picked this up along the way, but I'm automatically, if she comes and she pays for her own cab, something like that, just it's I feel as though that, and I don't think it's just because I'm from the hood. I think everyone can see the difference between a woman who is like of an economical lower class who might be looking about opportunity than a woman who's a business-minded woman that's doing stuff. Let's go around the panel. Anyone want to go next?
Okay, I would say you're right with the tattoos is kind of a sign. I also kind of think if the woman is very like transactional, so you get her to your place, she doesn't want to do certain things, and she's upcharging you. That's definitely a bad sign right there. And then, like you kind of mentioned, where did you get her? Strip club, brothel on the street. And if you're drinking with her and she wants to say, hey, invite one of my friends, that's a huge no-no. So those are indicators that if she doesn't want to be alone, she wants someone else involved. And of course, a lot of guys are like, oh, wow, I get the 2-for-1 deal in this situation. That's usually when shit's going to go bad.
Brandon, anybody else? Anybody else want to come join?
Well, Brandon, if you want to go ahead, bro. I'll go last.
Any cues of how we can tell?
I agree. I mean, just physical characteristics, tattoos, clothing. Really tattoos, clothing, how she speaks, transaction. I'm the moment she says she wants somebody to come, I'm done. Automatically, a girl or anything, I'm finished.
Like a friend, right? Yeah,
a friend.
Yeah.
I'm done. That's it. No, that's all right. Well, you have a good night. All right, that's it. I'm finished.
What Brandon said, I think is one of the things that makes it hard. Not just the two part, but it makes it harder. It makes it easier for the opportunity when it's hard for you to say no, because a lot of us go over there that aren't accustomed to maybe getting the women we do over here, and it's hard for them to say no. And I think when you don't remind yourself it's okay for me to say no and just walk away, opportunity opens itself right up.
So, Flyboy, I kind of have a question for you. The time that you had that wild epic night in Play-Doh, Carmen, the threesome with the two
Threesome with the
Colombian
twins.
girls, what made you make the decision that it was going to be safe? Now, I'm not knocking your decision. I mean, that's once in a lifetime, two twins. But at the same time, there's a safety liability. So what triggered in your mind to be like, let's do this. Everything is cool. I know I ain't going to get got. You get what I'm saying?
All right, so check this out. It's always signs of things I take into precaution. First, my suitcase, if there's not a safe in the room, my suitcase has a TSA lock on it. Unless she's a lock cracker, she's not getting that suitcase up. So she's gonna have to take the whole suitcase out of my apartment, down the stairs to get it out and take the stuff. Secondly, or have a knife and cut it open somehow and like that. Okay. Secondly, the place that we stayed in Playa del Carmen was on First Street. It is a big place with security guards 24/7 and a gate. You cannot leave the gate until the security guards buzz you out. The security guards have to see you leave with the girl to let her out. Thirdly, before we even got into the place, remember I had to run in with the cops. So now we're sitting with these two cops for 25 minutes, and I had both women there. If anything was going to happen to me, they would have remembered that, the cops remember we stopped them both for this. So all of those things, and on top of the fact that DJ Chisel was in the next room, made me feel as though, let's go.
Okay. So those are very good, pointers in regards to your situation. I think a lot of men, when they travel alone, especially, mongering for the first time, they don't take these precautions how we do. And unfortunately, the situation may end up bad. So having another person present, security, it's very vital to avoid a bad situation, such as getting drugged or robbed with the pro.
Exactly. Look what QB Passport said, and then you look under to what Pathfinder says. The majority of guys getting scoped stay in Airbnbs with no security. This is the same thing. If you was here earlier when I gave the example of the guy going to the less economical places to find women for a cheaper price and focusing on the cheapness. This is the same thing, like of not taking safety and precautions. Why I say it's more of their fault. Who wants to roll the tape or Brandon or Buck Travel?
Hey, I want to go back to my question for just a second, but how do you know a girl gonna drug you? I know a lot of y'all was saying the girls with the tattoos, but I mean, when you saying girls with tattoos, that's like most girls in Medellin, though. I mean, most of them gonna have tattoos, and y'all saying the girls that ain't dressed as well, but I mean, most girls can afford a nice little dress. I mean, but at the same time, y'all brought up some good points. Get an Airbnb with security or a hotel. That's going to increase your safety, most definitely. But all y'all have traveled for a while, man. Whether y'all admit it or not, have y'all ever fell asleep in the room with a female? I know I have. You know what I'm saying? I admit I have. It's been a long time, but I have woke up and the chick was gone. She didn't take my shit. But at the same time, I've been slipping before. Anybody can slip, man. Especially when you start drinking and shit.
Drinking, yeah.
I just wanted to add that in. Go ahead.
You remember what I said earlier about I've never heard a scopamine story where somebody wasn't drinking. An opportunity, like I said, the whole thing is to say for me.
Well, I had a guy, a brother on my channel. I interviewed him, and the girl put the scopamine on her breast. So he went to sucking on her breast, and he woke up 2 days later. So I mean, there's different ways they can do it.
Did he have
but, a lot of people talk about the drinks, right? Mm-hmm. Well, when I first went to Medi, they would always tell me they would blow it in your face. and you'll
heard
take
that
it up
too.
your nose. And now they're starting to do it in the drinks, but before they used to blow it. You know, so
So one thing I wanted to point out was this. A lot of people were saying that Medellin is getting more dangerous, right? So I did some research. Put you guys on the side real quick.
Mhm.
I did some research, and I'm like, wow, everybody's saying that Medellin is getting more dangerous. Is that true? I said, let me look it up. So I went to a website and I looked. No, not this one. And I looked at it. Since the 1990s, the homicides from Medellin have been down. Wait, the robberies from Medellin.
yo, are you comparing it to the 90s though?
The 90s, yeah, man.
Come on, man.
Right.
You
Yeah,
can't be
Colombia was
comparing
a
it to
different
the
place,
90s.
man.
Yeah, all right,
Wouldn't none of us go
here-
there in the 90s, dude.
See, this is why I put the screen up there, because I'm starting at the 90s. I'm not comparing it to 1990. I'm showing you a graph on here where from the 90s to currently, Medellin is currently at the lowest rate of theft that it's been since the 90s. So when people say that the rate of theft is going up, I'd say no. I challenge that and say no. What's happening is that.
But what
Yeah,
about
but that's
drug
for
though?
Medellin.
Let me finish saying. When people say the rate is going up, I challenge them and say no. The rate of crime is not going up in Medellin. What is occurring is that things, because of technology, are being put out there a lot more. This was happening way worse before, and it's actually getting better. But now, through technology, we have cameras, we have people telling their stories, all the stuff that didn't happen before. So now everyone sees so many. It might only be 5 people that got scopolamine in a year, but everyone's telling their story over and over again. So now people have in their mind that, oh, it's getting worse. It wasn't like this back in the day. No, that's not the fact. The fact, based on the statistics, is that it was way worse back in the day. It's just something that is on TV now.
Okay, Flyboy, you say that it's kind of being mitigated, but at the same time, a lot of these girls, they're also getting hip to the game, fake IDs, making sure that, okay, there really isn't a security presence. Before even going over, they can say, hey, he's staying here, there's no security, fake ID, boom, scoping me out, he's by himself, I did the deed, I'm out, there's no trace. So,
but look again, that's not the city making it dangerous. That's the person who decided to stay in an Airbnb with no security, with by themselves, with no hint of any kind of way that I can not be got. That is what made it dangerous. And that's why I said we have an issue. We have a big issue as United States citizens with taking accountability and blaming stuff on everything else.
Hey, well, Flyboy, let me ask you something. If you gotta have security in your building, you gotta have all this extra stuff. Don't you gotta have that stuff because it's dangerous?
No, I gotta have that stuff because I'm protecting myself from it being opportunistic.
Right.
It's a difference between.
But that's the same difference. You gotta have all that because it's a dangerous
opportunity
city.
and danger is not the same thing. Opportunity and danger is nowhere near the same thing.
Okay, so in Jersey, do you got a security guy? Well, let me not bring it back to America, but anyhow, you got to have all that security because for the simple fact that it's possible for you to get robbed, or drugged or something like that, something that happened to you. That's why you saying, yeah, get the security, because you got to protect yourself. If you take a trip to let's say Europe, where you need security, where you need all that. You probably wouldn't.
Because the opportunity is not there.
You will.
Right.
There's security in Europe. There's security in the United States. It's just that when you don't need it because the opportunity is not there. It's not.
You need security because it's possibly you can get robbed or you can get drugged, man. That's why when you go to Medellin in all the hotels, they take the girls' IDs. They check this, they check that. Some of the places are not guest friendly.
So wait. So roll the tape. You're telling me they do all this in Medellin? So you telling me Medellin is hold on? Let's go back. So you're telling me that Medellin is taking the guest ID? They're saying that you can't bring pros in there. They're saying all this stuff.
Yeah.
So let me go back. Let me go back real quick.
Yeah.
So basically, then Medellin. Hold on. Hold that thought. So basically, Medellin is making
He's
sure
bringing out
that
the definitions.
I mean, I was saying
He's breaking down the
let me
definitions.
take this back. So Medellin is making sure that the organization is valued for their performance and behavior related to something in which they're responsible. So Medellin is being responsible to make sure you're safe by having guards there, by making sure they take the ID. But you choose to go to places where they don't have guards and they don't take ID. Who's accountable for the danger?
Yeah, people do that. Yeah.
Right. Well, another thing. Oh, go ahead, roll the tape. My bad.
No, I was just saying, yeah, that's true. People do book Airbnbs where they don't have security. You know, whether they book it knowingly or whether they, you know, either or. But yeah, I agree. If you go to Medellin, man, make sure you got Airbnb with security or hotel with security. That'll be a smart thing. That definitely will be.
Even before all of that, and I know if you're in the chat room, we missing the comment, 130 people in the room, hope you like button. Even before all of that, Brandon, I don't know if you got a channel here, Brandon. You have a channel?
I don't. I'm just regular Joe Schmo. I watch you guys.
You've been a book. You got a channel, Brandon.
No, I ain't got no channel, man.
No. The security guards, even before the not drinking, even before the making sure you get the pro or the non-pro from an area that's reputable. When you go and do the research, you go to Roll the Tape page. You go to QB Passport Flexin page. You come to my page. You watch the Black Man's Guide. You go to Kings and Dreams page. You go to Ace Live page. You go to Barber World TV page. Bruh, you gotta do the research because you are the thing that's going to stop opportunity from happening. Not Medellin, not and the thing is that I don't feel empathy for people who this happens to. That do not do the research. I don't feel empathy.
Hey, but you know, you can get drugged in like a bar. You can get. I mean, they even had a video on YouTube where it was two girls and a white guy. They was at a bar and they were sitting at a table like outside, and the girls dropped something in the dude's drink while he turned his head to talk to the camera. I mean, you can get drugged places, and then they can. You literally like walk around sleeping, and they take you to ATMs and they take all your money out. I mean, there's stories of stuff like that happen too. So you don't have to be in a hotel. You don't have to be certain places. You could be in a club and they drug you. You know.
Let me ask you this: if they went with a friend, would that have happened?
I mean, yeah, man. I mean, people have gotten drugged and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right, but the probability would be less because there's more eyes.
Absolutely.
But also what I want to say, and this might offend some people, but I gotta keep it real. If you're dealing with a roster of all pros, you gotta be in defense mode all the time.
Yeah.
In order to avoid situations like we're just talking about, start dealing with regular women, start dealing with non-pros, okay? Go to other areas. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but if you get drugged in Mexico and you're an American citizen, it's a federal offense. The police will take you to go get tested, and they found out that you've been drugged and you have that information of that person. It's a federal offense for them. So Mexico is like, we don't play that. Like, you're not going to be drugging Americans, whereas Colombia and other countries, it's
they don't give a shit.
You know, are you still alive? Okay, you're still alive. That's all that matters.
Take your ass home. That's all they're gonna do about it, man. That's why it continues and continues and continues to happen, because the police they don't investigate it. I mean, people telling me stories, man. They know the girl name, they know and the police go, well, you don't have it on camera. I mean, you don't have the smoking gun. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, man, this shit happens all the time in Colombia, man.
Right,
Way more than we
but a
know
lot of
about.
people roll the tape. They want that GFE experience. So when they
But
get
hold
the
up, I'm
baddie,
gonna debunk what you said too. Deal with non-pros, because the thing about it, a lot of these girls that's drugging these guys are not professional, not pro girls on the street. The girls off a Tinder that's pretending to be one girl, and they show up and they catfishing guys, and they still taking the girls in, and they don't have no info on the girls, and they disappear. You know what I'm saying?
well,
So you can't
it,
just say get you a non-pro, because a lot of these girls not girls on the street. They
well,
just random girls they
again,
meet on the internet. So
there are pros on Tinder that poses as non-pros. Okay, and I'm probably sure, most likely, before they did anything, these girls charged them a price. Like, hey, you want me to go back to your place? It's going to be this, this, and this.
but how can
And the
you say
dude,
they? How can you say they a pro? You don't know. They just quote your price
okay,
on the
I mean,
Tinder.
but
They
still,
showing up as
if I
someone
meet a
else.
girl, hold on, roll the tape. If I meet a girl on Tinder, we
Yeah.
go out on a date, and then it's like, all right, let's head back to my place, and she charges me a price. She's a pro.
No, you didn't understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if somebody meet a girl off Tinder, right? The
Hmm.
girl says she not a pro. She come back to his spot. Don't talk about money, but drugs him. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? She might
I
not
get
be a
your
girl that
point,
walks the street.
but
She might not be a pro. She just a girl setting it up.
most likely a girl is going to hit him up for money before they even go back to the place because she realizes this guy's a sucker. All right, and going back to the place and not getting the money, she she's somewhat at a loss. Like it just doesn't make sense to go back to some dude's place when I'm a pro and I'm going to charge and I know at the very least I'm going to get the money. Okay, she may have the intent to drug him, but there's a high possibility that she may not get nothing. So at
Man,
least
girls,
she's getting something. And if the dude likes her, he's going to be like, yeah, let's do it. Now there is a situation that can possibly happen, but the likelihood is like slim to none. Like the girl has to really like the dude, especially on a first date. Like I don't know.
I mean, I'm gonna
Your
say
thought?
this, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna disagree with what you're saying, bro, because you on point with what you're saying too. But I'm gonna tell everybody, man, don't trust none of these chicks, man.
Of course.
Even if you known them for a while, don't let your guards
None of
down.
them.
I mean, don't trust these girls, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna drink, man, keep your drink with you, man. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I do that here in America. If I'm at a spot, I'm at a place, I take my fucking drink with me. Or I finish my drink, then I go to the bathroom. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you just gotta think like that, man. Because Medellin is a different type of animal, dude. Like these girls are beautiful, they seductive, they look good,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
they will drug you to death. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
just be aware, man. Don't trust non-pro, this pro. Man, you
Like
don't know these girls.
it was.
This girl might have been on the street. She might have charged somebody the day before, decide she didn't want to charge you. Do
See, the
that
one
make
thing.
her a non-pro? No.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but one thing she'll charge me. But all right, so one thing
They might like you, fly. They might think you fly, and they might think I'm just a fat old guy and charge me. You know what I'm saying?
I so one thing
Right.
one thing I tell people is this: you will, and I even say this on the Black Man's Guide. You won't ever know, regardless if you look at the tattoos, look at all that. You will never know what woman is trying to take advantage of you, whether it's drug you or not. You never will know. But
Mm-hmm.
the precautions you take stop it from being a place of opportunity. And just think this through. A woman comes to your Airbnb and she sees a guard. She's probably less likely to drug you. So a woman
Mm-hmm.
comes to your Airbnb and that guard takes her ID. She's
Yes.
less likely to drug you. If a
Yes.
woman is on the
Hey,
street and sees you
yo,
just hanging with your friend, it's you and
Yes.
another guy. She's less likely to drop something in your drink on the street or blow something in your face.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, let me debunk
And that's
that
why
right
she's
now.
gonna want the money. She's
Let
gonna
me
want
debunk
some
that
money
right now.
to make this happen.
accountability always falls on the person who does or doesn't take the steps or precautions to secure the opportunity that is them.
Hey, Fly.
That's
So
all I'm saying.
I got a video on my channel. I'm gonna send it to you personally,
Mhm.
right? Guy went to Colombia, had a hotel security. They took the girl's ID. He got drugged. She left without her ID, left with all his stuff, and they had her on tape. They had her on film, leaving the hotel. Got in the car. Actually, it was a car waiting out there for her. And the police questioned the guy in the car before she came out, like telling him to move, hey, back up, move, move. But he didn't get his ID or no information from him. So he waited out there for the girl. The girl came out, took all his stuff, and they left. So you can get robbed with security. You know what I'm saying? She left her ID. The police didn't do nothing about it.
I can almost guarantee that that woman was from a lower economical place that he went and found her in a low. I can almost guarantee because
But
not
how do you
one
know?
woman
How do you
that
know the
has
girl from a
any
low
sense
income?
is going to do. Just think about this. If I go to El Central and at nighttime and pick up a streetwalker and bring her back to El Poblado, that's the type of woman this probably was. It's all but once again, this is where I say we as a people have an issue with accountability. We're trying to blame the world for our mistakes.
Right.
Nah, but I mean, we acting like this isn't a risk averse behavior. Like what we're doing is risky. Period. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Where we're traveling, what we know what we're doing. So I agree with you 100%. Do your homework and do what you have to. I I don't want to say to less, but to mitigate the chance that you will be a victim.
Right. And also to add on that, like smash them at the place where you met them. So if you went into a brothel, strip club, they have rooms there. You don't have to bring her back. And that's where I'm saying that they want the girlfriend experience. They want to kiss and wake up in the morning and beat it up in the morning. They want all that. But if you do it right there, 99.9% of the chance that's not going to happen. So,
but that's why people want this real life stuff. They want to go, they want to talk, they want massages, they want to be kissed and rubbed, they want to smell her hair, they want you to look into her eye, they want to feel like she's falling in love with you. That's what they want.
But the issue with that is that in most places, what you have to do to get that to happen, they don't want to learn the language. They don't want to learn the culture. Yes. You don't want to spend more than a weekend over there. You don't want to. Yes. You just want to be able to pay for that. But that's not necessarily something in most places that can be paid for because it's something that comes over time.
Well, Fly Boy Way, I want to add this in, and I said this before. I think I said it on my recent video, the pros and cons of P2P, which if you guys are listening, go check that video out.
Yeah.
Not all mongers are created equal. So when I first got into the monger game, okay, and hear me out, I smashed a baddie, we show the receipts in the chat or whatever. Homie be like, oh, well, put me on. So I put him on. She either charges him 3 times the amount or rushes him. And he's like, yo, like, what's up with old girl? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Oh, she only gave me 20 minutes and I couldn't do this. And I had all these rules and she charged me this amount. And I'm thinking to myself, like, well, I don't know why. Like, she didn't do that with me. So when I mean that not all mongers are the same, not everyone's going to get that same treatment. Okay. And that's even what leverage in negotiating. I might be able to get a girl overnight for the same price. It may cost an hour, where another guy, he may not be able to do that. And then there's some guys that actually get rejected by pros, believe it or not. Tijuana.
I heard.
Big facts. So when you add that into the mix, all right, that plays a factor. If she really doesn't desire you, like physically wise, she's going to upcharge you. She's not going to give you the best deal. But if she likes you, you're able to like work a deal. Like, okay, well, if you want this, I do this. You charge me this. We do this. And it's even to the point where, okay, she ended up having a boyfriend. She even puts you on the friend. Like, hey, I don't do this no more, but my homegirl, I told her about you and how cool you are. Holler at her. Boom. So that's where I was trying to get at, that not all mongers are the same or equal.
Man, like listen, we're gonna definitely end this before 2:00. We got like 15. We got 2:00, 2 hours before the 2 hour mark. Because this has been a great conversation. I think this is very much needed. I mean, overall, like I said, I just want people to understand the accountability that it takes. And sometimes people get mad at other people on YouTube. And one thing I really learned from like watching other people who I didn't agree with how they did their YouTube channel is that everyone is to be able to set a perspective of how their travel goes. But it's not their responsibility if they're feeding somebody stuff that they don't experience. They don't have that thing. It's not their fault that they're not telling them, oh, you got to do this, you got to be careful of this. The accountability always falls on the person who goes over there or gets robbed, because they have to be the one to do the research. Like if this YouTuber is just walking around showing you the stuff and you're like, oh, that's nice, and you go over there and you try to go over and record and you get robbed, or you try to go over there to the places he was at and you get scoped or something like that. That's your fault, because Rich done told you on the channel this happens here. I done told you it happens here. QB Passport, Barber World TV. So I can't at no point I cannot ever say that Medellin is dangerous. I just say the danger falls when you are not accountable for the actions you take to prevent that stuff from happening, opportunity from happening.
Facts. And like you said, it does rely on the individual. And I have to admit, there are guys that are socially awkward. They see these channels and they see the women and they're like, oh, I want to do that. And then they go on these trips by themselves, or like you said, they don't do the research, or they don't want to talk to one of us on the side and be like, hey, man, can you really give me the 411, the do's and don'ts? And unfortunately, a situation happens like that, and they get all pissed off. They come on YouTube or on a social media platform saying, this place is so dangerous. Oh, my gosh, like all this bad stuff happened. Well, what did you do? And what did you do to prevent a situation from that happening? Oh, I stayed at the cheapest hotel on the block. There was no security. I went for the cheapest hole that I could get. And it's like, well, you did it to yourself, and that's what Flyboy is talking about.
I didn't want to say cheapest holes.
Yeah. But still, a lot of bro, you already know that there's a lot of dudes in this travel game that they're so happy to bang the baddest girl that they see, and they stay at a hole-in-the-wall Airbnb, a roach motel. All the money is spent on the girl and not, for their
safety
accommodations as protection as well.
Yeah, that's true, man.
All right. So while we get into it, I'm trying to get to all the comments. If I see any comments that you guys want to answer, just let me know. Hey, can you tell us a little bit about Book of Ramonga real quick? Because I guess I honestly found Book of Ramonga through a woman I met in Medellin who said she works at a club there, and I got followed the club, and I started looking like, oh, this is kind of cool, and I just want to know more. So I ain't going in.
Like Book of Ramonga is a working class city. They, it's not the place to go. Like, I mean, it's a good off. Like, it's a lot of parks there, and it's not really much to do. Like, I really don't, unless you're just trying to explore Colombia, and that's your thing. You're trying to hit every single spot, and since it is, the fifth biggest city there, it's like 1.4 million people. It may be on your list, but it's not a big nightclub scene. It's a college scene, and people work, and that's it. And it's the capital city of the. Go ahead.
I was under the impression that it was like more like a Cali or a city that was like still was like a vibe you could lay back on or something like that. I don't know. I was just under that impression.
It's really not like the pro scene isn't large. It's almost non-existent. It's just it's not a Cali, it's not a Cartagena, it's not a Medellin, it's not a Bogota. It just it's just a large, densely populated metropolitan area.
Okay. And how far is it? I think how far is it from Medellin? Is you fly to Medellin or do you have an airport there?
Yeah, it's Pelo Negro, BGA is
they have an airport.
Yeah, they got an international airport. Yep.
Okay.
Spirit is the only
Spirit fly there, man.
Yeah, Spirit flies there. It's the only United States carrier that flies direct there. So everything else is Avianca and some other local Colombian charters, but Spirit's the only way you can get there.
That's cool because Spirit fly out of Miami, so that's definitely a good look.
Yeah.
There.
It's Fort Lauderdale. So
so we actually made it to the end of the chat room, and that's what I really wanted to do. That's awesome. Fellas, can you guys go around and go from we'll start from Brandon to QB Passport and with Richie to give like your final thought on everything of the topic and everything, so that people can close out and
Yeah, I'm probably the only. I'm really just a general person here that follows you guys, and what everybody is saying is correct for the most part. You got to take responsibility in all this. Do your homework, and make sure you know what you're doing when you go out there. It's on your dime to protect yourself. So don't cheap out on your accommodations. Have a reasonable knowledge of the area that you're going. If you're inexperienced, then stay in the tourist area. Don't expect to get everything in one visit. Baby steps. If you go in there and you happen to be one of those awkward, Norbit types, so you just want to go get your feet wet, go there and take it slow and enjoy yourself. Be safe. Be safe because I don't know if people know, but scopolamine can kill you. If they get the doses wrong, if they give you too much, it's not just waking up. I don't know how many drugs y'all know, even on the street that'll put you out for 2 days. And it's scary because it's a drug that's grown locally and it's accessible. So, gentlemen, do your homework when you go there.
And I know you don't have a YouTube, which I don't understand. But
I don't.
If someone wanted to reach out to you to get some information or anything, would they be able to, or you just
I'm just here. I don't.
Instagram,
I'm at work right now. Okay, I live in Delaware, so
okay. Listen, yeah, because you are very knowledgeable, man. So like, I appreciate you for coming on the panel. And we're gonna move over to QB Passport Flexin.
Nah, thanks for having me, man. It was an honor.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
QB Passport.
Definitely, you guys do your research. There's a lot of information that's free. Okay. When you research a town, when you research a country, go on Google, you can find a lot of free information. But if you reach out to a content creator and they charge for a consultation, it's only to benefit you, okay? Because this is stuff that we experience that we're willing to share with you that includes safety protective measures. For the first time, when you're dealing with pros, the whole spending the night, the first time you meet her, is a huge risk. Staying in places that don't have security or security cameras is a huge risk. And I would also say if a girl wants to bring another girl to make the situation you think better for you, you should always question that dealing with pros specifically. So the information's there. I've been to Medellin. It's a great place. I had a wonderful time. Eventually, I will get back there in the near future. But at the same time, if you do not know how to move and take safety protective measures upon yourself, you can be caught up in a situation as we mentioned here in the stream.
All right, awesome. Appreciate that. Yeah, we're gonna go to roll the tape, and I'm actually If you guys want their contact information, I'm going to, well, not branding, but Roller Tape and QB Passport, I'm going to put their links in the room in the description area. So you after this live, if you want, you can just go to the description area. All that stuff is going to be in the description area.
Appreciate it. Sub to the channel, QB Passport Flexin. We'll put the links up in a minute.
Definitely. Roller Tape.
All right, man. First of all, thanks for letting me come on and debate with you a little bit or whatever. But I appreciate all the brothers giving out good information. I saw somebody in the chat say, stop complaining or whatever. Man, we're not complaining. We just, me personally, man, I care about the travel brothers, you know what I'm saying? Travel bros. And I don't want nobody going to a country without knowing the dangers, man. We got to talk about the good and the bad. If you just give somebody information, oh man, start this business, man, you gonna make money, but you don't tell that person, hey, there's some pitfalls to it. You got to have these licenses. You got to have this license. You're doing them an injustice. So you have to talk about the dangers of the city people are gonna be traveling if they never been. Like QB and the other guy was saying, if you never dealt with certain type of women, you gotta have some type of information on the bad too. And that's all we doing, bringing awareness to it, man. I care about the people that watch my channel. You know what I'm saying? So I try to give them the real, you know what I'm saying? But all the brothers had good points up here. I disagree with some of it, but most of it I agree with. You know what I'm saying? 100%. So I appreciate you putting me on, Fly Boy. Salute to you, man. You my brother, man. Anytime you're in the ATL, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you need, you know what I'm saying? I'm there. I got up 7 o'clock in the morning with you that one morning, you know what I'm saying? So, one love, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the chat, whether y'all agree with us, whether you agree with Fly Boy, whether you agree with QB, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, man, just be safe and come back home, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't die over a piece of y'all know what. But that's about it. I don't wanna preach to the choir, man. We already did enough preaching.
Listen, y'all. I mean, through this whole conversation, whether or not you believe Medellin is dangerous or you believe it falls on the accountability of the person, you just got 4 incredibly intelligent brothers who travel to tell you that regardless of whatever you believe, you need to protect yourself by doing the research. You need to protect yourself by securing the stuff. A lot of other ways, a lot of other information that you got from this place, man. I don't know. We can't. You could tell somebody. You could lead a horse to water they won't drink. You can tell somebody they'll still do whatever they want. But I know for a fact that this video is gonna help one person decide to do the research and make sure they don't become a statistic. Because like they said, it's not even about losing the thing. Because most of us, whatever we go, we can lose everything we go over and come back to the States and make it all back in a short time. But you can't get back your life if something happens. So guys got to make sure you just take precaution, man. I want to say thank you for everybody for coming out on the panel, man. I feel as though, like I said, this video is, if it gets spread out the way it should, is really going to help at least one person not end up a statistic. And I think that all 4 of us played a major role in this, man. So like I said again, I want to thank you guys for coming. It's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why. Just check out the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Oh, make sure you guys come back after this video ends and go and click on everybody's link. Subscribe to their channel, hit the notifications, and stay aware. Peace.